So what's up guys, welcome to another video on my channel. So today I'll be showing you not just some tips and tricks, but I'll also be showing you how exactly to play this game to become a better player. And I can say that from experience, since I'm playing for I believe almost a year now. And as you can see, I have this is my profile. I am like quite highly rated. I also have almost 2,000 normal games, and when we combine all the games I have more than 3.5 thousand. So I can really teach you a thing or two, so I recommend that you watch the video till the end. Right, so before we get into the video, please don't forget to subscribe and like so I can make more videos with tips and tricks like this one, and I can help you become a better player, of course. So let's get straight into the video. So the first thing I want to say is it's really important that you start to learn some things about the game, because learning is probably one of the most important things. One of the main things about this game is learning bollards. So, for example, if we go to here, if we go to Luxembourg. So, for example, as I was saying, if we go to Luxembourg, we'll always see these. Let me just move here real quick. You always see these German bollards, which are also found in Switzerland and in Luxembourg. And as I've said in previous videos, Switzerland has a low camera. So when you have these bollards, if you're watching this video before the new German coverage is released, you'll most probably be in Luxembourg. And especially if you're playing on a lower level, and if you see these bollards, and you can straight away go and guess Luxembourg. For example, this one is right, you can see around here in Luxembourg on the map. And yeah, just like this you can get a really nice guess really quick. And if you're, for example, playing duels, that will get you some really nice points, and you can win much more duels in this case. And again, I can show you just a few more things. I won't show you all of them, but as you play you can start learning these bollards. For example, this bollard here with that is filled yellow on the inside could only be found in Spain. So again, if you just don't know where you are and you have one of these bollards, you can guess Spain straight away. And especially if you're on a lower level, this could get you some really nice points, and also can get you quite far ahead in a battle royale or battle royale distance or whatever. And also, of course, in duels works pretty nice, and some of the more experienced players use this meta quite often as well. So yeah, what you really should go and do is try and remember every single specific bollard for most of the countries. And after you've done that, I highly recommend this map, Bollards of the World, where you can just go and practice. For example, this bollard could only be found in Slovenia and Austria and Montenegro. I think this is Montenegro. And play a few more games like this. This is a Canada bollard. I don't know which state, maybe Sask. Okay, it was Alberta, but still a nice guess. And by playing a few more games like this, you get much better. So what we're gonna do now is gonna play a few more games on this map, and what you have to do is go on and learn the bollards that I show in this video, and like that you'll have much better guesses in your game. So let's go straight away. So as again I've said, this is the map, Bollards of the World. You can just go ahead and like it so you can play it more and more. I'll make other videos for like polls, for example, or something like this. This, for example, I believe is Thailand or Sri Lanka, maybe Sri Lanka, but this much more obscure. These bollard I wouldn't recommend learning, because Sri Lanka has much higher metas like these poles where they're like A-shaped, have holes on them. But anyway, if you want to just learn bollards, this is a Sri Lankan bollard. Then you go away and click in Sri Lanka. There we go. Let's see the next one. These ain't no bollards, but this will obviously be Greece. This could only be found in Athens, I believe. So you just go on and click Athens, and it should be a really nice guess. There we go. Next round. These are these long snow poles that I kind of forgot where they were, to be honest. I'm admit I do make mistakes sometimes as well, but let's check it out then. I don't know. I believe it would be Spain actually, or France, or something like this. Or it actually was Andorra, yeah, right. So that's not the most useful method, since most of these would just be found in most of Andorra. You could just tell by the buildings or something like that. Then you've got these Mongolian bollards. So if you see these bollards, you would know you're in Mongolia straight away. But of course, it's much easier with the car. And when you see over this direction, you look at the roof rack, and if there is no black thing over here in the middle, like it is now, it will be in the eastern part of the country, so east of Ulaanbaatar. And if it has the black thing here, also just over this hole, it has a black something black. Then, if you have that on the car, you're in the western part of the country. Here we don't have it, so I believe we're gonna be east. I'm just gonna click somewhere around here. And you're fairly central, so you could also get this car on this road down here that is covered just, I believe, somewhere till here. So yeah, if we go all the way to the east, you can see the same car, and if you go west of here, you can see the other car. Let's see the next bollard. So this will be, I believe, the new Qatari bollard. Yep, so this will be Qatar, and this will be the Qatar bollard. And most of the times in Qatar you have to click Doha, I believe. Yep, there it is. Let's go for another one, just to show you a few more bollards, then you can go on and learn it yourself, of course. Let's check it out. The game takes its time, but this ain't no problem. These, I believe, are Ecuadorian bollards, and I believe in South America, only in Ecuador you'll see bollards with any red thing on them, and it's maybe safe to say that you won't just in Ecuador you see any bollards at all. So if you're in South America and you see some bollards, it's really likely that you're in Ecuador, as you see now. There we go. Not the best guess, but we get the country. Here I'll admit I have no idea what these bollards are. They're somewhere in the mountains. We're just gonna skip this round. I'm just gonna click here. Yep, doesn't matter that. And then here have again these snow bollards, which I believe will be in the Alps, and maybe in Austria. So I'll just click Austria. They're not that common, but I believe since you have these bollards, you will be somewhere in the mountains or in some mountainous countries like Austria, for example. And then we have the good old Spanish bollard, which is the only bollard in the world that has yellow inside. There is really rare cases when you can see yellow bollards in Latvia, which is in German here, but it's Latvia, of course. And when you see the yellow bollards, most likely will be Spain. In Spain, you just have to check out if it looks like Spain, because I believe Latvia and Spain are pretty distinctive. This is obviously Spain. I believe it's somewhere around the middle. It's right. And so just like that, you go on and learn all these bollards that I just showed, and you improve your guesses massively. And this video obviously is not all about bollards, so now what I'll be showing you is how to improve your game overall without really learning anything. So a good way to improve your game, I believe, is region guessing. So it's a really important part if you're a more experienced player to region guess countries nicely. And by doing that, you have to learn a few methods of the countries, so where the mountains are or some things like that, where there are like palms, for example. So how do you do that? So I'd recommend maybe watching a video or two about the country and really trying to get some of the tips that are shown in this video about how to click the right area of it. Of course, I can make videos about how to region guess certain countries. Of course, you have to leave a comment and I'll do such a video. So what you have to go on and do, for example, a country I tried learning recently was Japan. So what I like to go on and do is like the maps of the countries that I region guess. So for example, I learned region guessing Kyrgyzstan, I learned South Africa, I learned Australia, I learned the Baltics, I learned, for example, Japan, and just like that, I like every single map of the country that I've learned, and after that, you can just go on and practice on the map without playing world map. And after that, every time you get that country in, for example, playing ACW, you have a much better guess. And so, for example, if you've learned Japan, you just go in Japan and play Japan, play a few games. I believe this will be north. We click north. Let's see what happened. Whoa, I don't know what happened, but yep. Yeah, so this will be probably a bit further south, maybe something like Osaka or something. It's just Tokyo, but you see it's a nice central guess. And really, just like this, you can learn like metas, you can learn if you how to get the right vibes in the country. So I recommend, if you are a more experienced player, you to start learning each country that you are probably the worst on. So for example, I was really bad at Japan, and I started practicing. Now I would say I'm really a really solid player. Same with Australia. There it's a bit more about metas, whereas for example in South Africa and Japan it's more about vibes. But still, if you want, you can learn the metas. And the last thing I want to recommend is that you stop playing world map, because world map, which you can find here, classic maps, the first map that comes out is a world map. And I would strongly recommend to not play it, because I'll show you something right now. If you go on and play, firstly, you get US probably 90% of the time. So let me, and most of the time, it would also be in the country's capital, which would prevent you from region guessing. Not even to mention that really often you would get these trackers, like I've just gotten now, that will just won't help you improve your game at all. This will be just somewhere in Italy, for example, Florence, I don't know, Venice, obviously, the canal. And yeah, just like this, this will be maybe US, and as I've said, you get quite a lot of US. It's not actually US. Let's figure it out together. Maybe it is. Yeah, you do get quite a lot of US. That's the other bad part about the world map. You get maybe like 3 or 4 rounds every single game of US, which won't really help you play improve your game unless you're like practicing US. Just over here I'm proving it, because we've got 2 US Canada 50-50s in one game, which is not ideal, to be honest. So yeah, let's go for an art just to show real quick, like what most of the of course world map is not always bad rounds, but most of the time I don't really like playing it. Because for example, let me explain something real quick. If you, for example, get a country in Europe, for example, let's say Hungary, or let's say Bulgaria, for example, let's say Austria, for example, massively. Every time you get an urban round, you'll be in either Budapest or Vienna or maybe Prague. And I really don't like that, because I really like to know that if we're in an urban area, I can try to find out which city it is. And it's really not interesting just knowing that you're in Vienna every time you see an urban city that speaks German. And that's the other thing, other than just getting probably like 2-3 US rounds every single game. I won't really explain anything about these rounds. It's either Philippines or Cambodia. Let's make it quick. It's Philippines, right? Yep, there's another US, just proving further my point. I really have to improve on region guessing US, because it's really not my best country. Even though I do get some nice guesses. Then again, another US. So, is it the US? It's in Australia, I believe. Let's check it out. We have a yellow plate, which would probably indicate Sydney, even though I'm not entirely sure. I believe it's Sydney. Yes. There's another few metas that we learn simultaneously while playing. Then we got the Gen 2, I believe in England or something. We have the sea there to our east. So maybe something over here. Oh, that was really obscure. And overall, that's what I'm talking about. So for example, this round, Where are we? Let's check it out. Maybe Russia. Let's check out. Most of the times you have to click Moscow. And the bad part is if you play a normal map, it's really unlikely that it's Moscow, because you have all these megapolises in Russian, from Vladivostok to Yakutsk, all these Krasnoyarsk, Yakutsk, Kazan. Together with all these, if you zoom here, you'll find 100 more cities that are massive. And the chance of you getting Moscow on a realistic map is really low. But on the world map, you just click Moscow and you just get nice points, which makes you believe you're a good player, but in reality, you're really not. For example, my favorite map to play right now is A Community World, because it has much more diverse locations. Doesn't give US 3 or 4 times every game. And also, you can nicely region guess countries without having to play a map specifically made for region guessing. And for example, here I know it will be maybe Finland, and I know for sure it won't be Helsinki because it's not that urban. And that's a nice thing. I'll just click center. There we go, I get a much nicer guess. A world map player will probably click Helsinki here. Again, we don't get an urban round, you get a France. So like this, you can learn how to region guess France. I'm feeling maybe something like this. That's the right guess. And that's all I mean overall. Let's just finish this game. This is... what is this? Let's check it out. I'm getting northern vibes. Maybe just Sweden. Let's check out. Let's click center. Then again, on the world map, if you get such a Sweden, it will 99% of the times be Stockholm. And here you can just go on and try region guess it, because it's just some other town. And yeah, that's the most important thing when you play, when you try to learn how to play on the world map. Here, for example, I believe it's Netherlands. Let's check it out. If it's Netherlands, most of the times on the world map, for example, you always click Amsterdam, Hague or Rotterdam, which I believe it won't be there this time, and you just can try region guessing or just hedge center. And as you can see, it's just so obscure, it's just down here, which you would really rarely see in the world map. Again, as I've said, you don't get just one country 3 times, as it was on the R map. So here, let me coach real quick. I believe this is a Russian pole top, that the concrete part reaches one part, and then it has some metal things holding the stuff with the power in them, and I believe it will be probably somewhere around here. Oh shit, there we go, so I can make bad guesses as well. And so that's all from this video. I hope I've taught you a thing or two. And for the intro, I want to say again what we've been saying in this video. So first, if you want to become a pro player, you really need to start learning some methods like the bollards I've showed, and for example like poles. And after that, you should improve the way you play and the way you practice by, again, maybe some of the ways I've shown, like for example, stop playing the world map and try another map for the world that's not created from Geoguessr. And if you want to improve on region guessing a specific country, you can just go on and play the map of the specific country. So that will be all from this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a like if that is so. Of course, subscribe, leave a comment about which country you want me to show a guide about maybe, or something like that. And I will see you in the next video.